It was suggested yesterday, and I've got the time today to do it. So welcome back to the Stanley Cup playoffs, New Jersey Devils. How did they take so long to get back, you might ask? Glad you asked. In the summer of 2012, they lost Zach Parise and Peter Sikora. Sikora was a 20-goal scorer, and Parise was kind of a heart and soul kind of guy to the franchise. In 2013, Kovalchuk decided suddenly he was going to retire and go to the KHL. So 2012-2013, they have a 500 season. 13-14, even without Kovalchuk, they have 35 wins, 29 losses, 18 overtime losses, 88 points. 14-15, 32, 36, and 14 for 78 points. 15-16, 38, 36, and 8, 84 points. And then this past season, 28, 40, and 14 for 70 points. So that was the low point. So what's changed this year? You know, in the summer of 2014, of course, they switched over from Brodeur to Corey Schneider. Corey Schneider was going to be the new starter, the answer to everything. Corey Schneider might be on his way out of town. And I do wonder about that. The biggest change this year is Taylor Hall showed up. Taylor Hall coming into this year had a lot to live up to. He did. The Devils had missed the playoffs. The Oilers had made the playoffs after the Hall trade. And there was a lot of question about, well, is Hall the reason that New Jersey lost 14 points when he got there? There was. And they've gained 27 points this year, in large part due to Hall. Look at the difference between first and second in scoring. 38 points between first and second in scoring. He has to win the Hart Trophy now. They've made the playoffs. And of course, this being Kovalchuk, he's not going to win any kind of awards from Devils fans at all. I got this jersey cheap, though, so don't shoot the messenger. He sure ended up finishing second in scoring, 81 games, 51 points. Very key in that second half that he sure developed into the kind of forward that they felt they were drafting last June. Palmieri with 44 points in 62 games. Very, very steady pickup. Will Butcher, 44 points in 80 games. Not exactly setting the world on fire the last half of the year, but guess what? He played so well during the first month that it's worth noticing that here's a defenseman who could potentially get 50 points next year. Jesper Bratt came out of nowhere. 73 games, 35 points. Miles Wood has 18 goals. Sami Vatanen, 28 points in 57 games after coming over from Anaheim. And after a shaky start when he arrived after that trade for Adam Henrique. Remember that trade with Adam Henrique? Yeah, and early on it looked like that probably benefited Anaheim and not New Jersey as much. But Vatanen's picked it up. Newson's one I want to talk about a bit. 13 goals, 14 assists, 27 points. He may seem like an underwhelming player for his totals, but you know what? He's played really well. Any game in New Jersey's I've watched, Newson's impressed me as a bottom six guy. And he's really evolved his game. Zajac with 26 points in 63 games. Zajac is not what he was offensively, say, 2-3 years ago, but he is absolutely a part of what's happened here. Look, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 players with 10 or more goals. And, of course, Hall with 39, he could hit 40 this weekend. And don't count out Severson with his 9 goals from hitting 10. And becoming another one with 10 or more goals. Brian Boyle's been an interesting story this season for New Jersey, of course. Comes over, he's fighting cancer. And that seems to have helped the team and motivated the team. And we've talked about Vegas. We've talked about Florida and what tragedy has done for them and fighting their way through adversity. And you look at Ottawa last year with Craig Anderson and fighting their way through that. There's something that brings a team together about a teammate who's in trouble or a community that needs some form of healing. I know the last time Boston went to the Stanley Cup Final in 2013, Boston strong. That was the big phrase at the time. And even I was saying it by the time the final rolled around, of Boston strong. Brian Boyle has been that lightning rod for the New Jersey Devils. And I fully expect him to win the Masterton Trophy. That's why I didn't do a video about the Masterton Trophy, because as far as I'm concerned, it's Boyle's. I don't see any need to talk about a whole lot of the other Masterton Trophy nominees, since they'll probably be nominated again next year. It's Boyle's. Zacha with 8 goals. And here's the interesting thing. Pavel Zacha still hasn't become what he was supposed to be when he was drafted, but there's no pressure on him to become that. Almost done. he has been able to have a season of 8 goals, and I don't hear anything about him being a great disappointment or a flop or, oh, he's a bust. It's kind of nice when you've got a rookie that can come in as a highly drafted rookie and not face that pressure. Goaltending has been very interesting. So Kincaid took over from Schneider when Schneider got hurt. I said I had faith in Kincaid. I viewed him as a starter. I took some grilling for that. I have never backed off of that, and I'm happy about that. He's got 26 wins, 10 losses, 3 overtime losses, 2.77 goals against, and a .913 save percentage, which is right around league average. I think league average is .914 right now. But he's been a lot better over the last month and a half. He probably watched one of my videos and went, well, if the hockey guy believes in me, then clearly, yeah, no. Schneider's numbers have been less inspiring. 17, 15, and 6 overall, 2.88 and a 909 goals against, or 909 save percentage. If you guys don't want Schneider, I'm pretty sure Vancouver wouldn't mind it. Oh, Schneider and Demko. Oh, that would undo so much. Anyways, it's an interesting time for New Jersey right now because they did have those 5 seasons outside the playoffs. They crashed at the right time last year. They got the #1 draft pick. Hischier's #2 in scoring and is a big part of this story, and it will likely hit 20 goals, I would think, this weekend. I'm hoping I don't jinx him. But it's kind of fascinating, isn't it? Kind of fascinating. Oh, well, he's got 1 game left. Yeah, I'll go ahead and say he scores his 20th goal in the last game of the year. Because at the time I'm recording this, they've still got 1 game left. But New Jersey absolutely belongs in the playoffs. I thought they were fading, and then they picked it up. So for a team with this much youth, and I mean, you look and you know Hischier, Butcher, Bratt. Yeah, I'd count Wood as one of the younger guys. He's only in his 2nd year. Newson, kind of unknown going into this year. Coleman, yeah, you know. And then Gibbons coming up with 12 goals. Nobody saw that coming. So there's a lot of surprise stories and a lot of good stories. And Zaka's down here. And I've always liked Damon Severson. I've always been a big Damon Severson fan going back a ways. So there you go. New Jersey Devils, welcome back to the playoffs. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through and you're just happening upon this video. And hey, now it's a matter of what they can do in said playoffs. Can they score an upset in the first round? That could be a challenge with this much youth, and the fact that they're really, really top-heavy for scoring with Hall's 93 points. I can't deny his right to the heart because, as I said, there's a 38-point difference between first and second in scoring on that team. That is insane. And for that reason, it looks like Taylor Hall dragged them to the playoffs, and this is his first time in the playoffs. Congratulations, Taylor Hall and the Devils. I'll talk to you guys again soon.